Please don't tell Eric. A bold and the beautiful, inspired story. The late afternoon sun poured through the towering glass windows of Forrester Creations, casting long golden shadows across the design studio. Bolts of silk and cashmere lay draped over mannequins like silent witnesses, and the air smelled faintly of perfume, coffee, and ambition. Electra Forrester stood alone near the sketch table, her arms crossed tightly against her chest. Her reflection stared back at her from the polished chrome surface of a rack, poised, elegant, and composed on the outside. Inside, she was unraveling. She had spent her entire life mastering the art of composure. Being a Forrester demanded it. The name alone carried expectations heavier than any couture gown. Strength, loyalty, silence. Especially silence. Her phone buzzed. Dylan. She didn't answer right away. She already knew why he wanted to see her. Chapter 1. The Weight of a Secret. Electra had grown up in the shadow of legends. Eric Forrester, the patriarch. Ridge, the tortured genius. Brooke, forever complicated. Steffi, fierce and unyielding. There was no room for mistakes in that lineage. And yet, she had made one. A secret so deeply buried that even thinking about it made her heart pound. A secret Dylan somehow knew. She exhaled slowly and finally texted back. Meet me in the private office. 10 minutes. Her hands trembled slightly as she locked the studio door behind her. Dylan Hayes had never been intimidated by Forrester Creations. Not the building, not the name, not even Eric himself. But Electra? She was different. She wasn't loud like Steffi or theatrical like Brooke. Electra was quiet strength, sharp eyes, measured words, and an emotional depth Dylan sensed but had never fully touched. When he stepped into the private office, she was standing near the window, her back to him. You wanted to see me, he said carefully. Yes, she replied. And you shouldn't have come. Dylan frowned. Then why ask me here? Electra turned, her expression guarded. Because you won't stop asking questions. Because something's wrong, Dylan said softly. And you're carrying it alone. That hit her harder than she expected. I know, Dylan continued, lowering his voice, that you've been lying to Eric. The room felt smaller. Electra's breath caught. You don't know what you're talking about. I do, he said. And I know it's killing you. Her composure cracked, just slightly. Dylan, she whispered. If you care about me at all, you need to stop. I can't, he said. Not if it's going to destroy you. She closed her eyes, her hands clenching into fists. Please, she said quietly. Please don't tell Eric. The words felt like surrender. Dylan stared at her, stunned. Electra, what is it? She walked past him, pacing the room like a caged animal. Eric believes the new luxury line was entirely my design, she said. That I created it from scratch. Yes, Dylan said. Because you did. No, she replied sharply. I finished it. I refined it. I saved it. She stopped and turned to him, eyes glassy. But I didn't start it. Silence stretched between them. Who did? Dylan asked. Electra swallowed hard. My mother. Dylan's eyes widened. But, she died years ago, he said gently. Yes, Electra whispered. And before she did, she left behind unfinished designs. Brilliant ones. Revolutionary. She looked down, shame washing over her face. I found them. And instead of telling Eric, I passed them off as my own. Dylan shook his head slowly. Electra, that doesn't make you a fraud. Yes, it does, she insisted. Eric built this house on honesty and passion. He trusted me. You honored your mother, Dylan said. I betrayed my grandfather, she replied. Her voice broke. I was afraid, she admitted. Afraid that if Eric knew the truth, he'd see me as weak. As someone leaning on the past instead of forging her own future. Dylan stepped closer. Electra, Eric would understand. She laughed bitterly. You don't know him the way I do. I know he loves you, Dylan said. That nearly undid her. There was something else. Electra could feel it. Dylan hadn't come just to confront her. You're not telling me everything, she said quietly. He hesitated. Then he took a breath. I wasn't supposed to find out, Dylan said. But I did. By accident. Her heart raced. I was helping archive old Forrester records, he continued. I found sketches, signed with your mother's initials. And notes in your handwriting. Electra's knees weakened. I should have kept quiet, Dylan said. But seeing you take the credit, seeing the pressure eat you alive, I couldn't. She looked at him, pain and gratitude colliding. Why didn't you go to Eric? She asked. Because, Dylan said softly, I love you. The words hung in the air like a thunderclap. Electra stared at him, stunned. Dylan, you don't know what you're saying. I do, he insisted. I've watched you fight for this family. Protect it. Carry its burdens. She shook her head. If Eric finds out, everything changes. Maybe for the better. Or maybe I lose everything, she said. Her voice trembled. My place here. His trust. My name. Dylan stepped closer, careful, reverent. You won't lose me. She looked away. I don't want you to choose between me and the Forresters. I already have, he said. Emotion overwhelmed reason. Electra turned back to him, tears spilling freely now. This is a mistake. Maybe, Dylan replied. But it's an honest one. She searched his face for doubt. Found none. Their lips met, tentative at first, then desperate. It was a kiss born of secrets and fear, longing and relief. When they pulled apart, reality rushed back in. This doesn't change anything, Electra said. It changes everything, Dylan replied. Electra stepped back, wiping her tears. You can't tell Eric, she said firmly. Not yet. Dylan nodded. I won't. Not unless you want me to. She studied him, weighing trust against terror. Promise me, she said. I promise, he replied. But one day, you'll have to tell him. She sighed. I know. She looked out the window, watching the sun dip below the city skyline. I just need time. Dylan placed a reassuring hand over hers. You have it, he said. As Dylan left the office, Electra remained behind, alone with her thoughts. She loved her family. She loved her legacy. And now, she loved Dylan. But secrets at Forrester Creations never stayed buried. And somewhere in the building, Eric Forrester was already asking questions. Electra closed her eyes and whispered to herself. Please don't tell Eric. Because if the truth came out, nothing would ever be the same again.